Hi, welcome to Messy Missy Creates. This is Melissa. I thought that I would do a little, thrift store haul, I guess. I actually did this like a week ago, and I just haven't shown you this stuff yet. I haven't done anything with it either. But anyway, so I thought that I would just take you kind of through what I found, because I don't always, I don't get to go to the thrift stores as much anymore. And I don't seem to find journal stuff very often when I do get to go. So anyway, let me start with these so I can take them off my desk, because I know there's a glare. But these are those plastic storage boxes. Now, I don't usually fall for those, if you know what I mean. I don't usually it's not something I'm usually looking for or attracted to, or whatever you want to call it. Because, you know, we don't always use them in the appropriate, well, that's not right either. They don't always work for craft stuff, because my theory is if I can't contain all of one category in one container, then what's the point in having it? That's kind of my theory. But, and also too, a lot of the ones that you buy in the craft stores, these little plastic storage containers, they're not usually that great quality. And like if you put small stuff in them, if you tilt them, they'll spill over into the other little sections. So anyway, these are actually for fishing. So if you like this type of plastic storage bins, or containers, then look in the fishing section. This one is made by Plano, Plano. And I know from storing all of our fishing gear and whatever, I know these are good. They have good latches, and they have these ridges that go over the little compartments. So it keeps your stuff from spilling over. The reason why I got this one is because I've been using my eyelets more. And I thought, well, I can, that would be something that I would keep those in, rather than, because I've opened a couple of packages lately and I didn't know where to put them. So I'm going to use this one for my eyelets and things like that. Maybe if I have room, some bulb pens or something like that. So that'll work for that one. This one is Shimano brand, and it's also a fishing brand, and it's bigger. I don't know how big it is. I would say about 11-12 inches by maybe 9 or 10 inches. Now it might be 11 by 14 for all I know. I didn't see the point in measuring it. Now this one is obviously for larger stuff. It does not have those little sections on the lid, but it does have these little lips on the little dividers, and you can, take them out if you want to store bigger stuff. So I went ahead and got this. It was like $1.99. Yeah. And then some of their colors were like half off or whatever. So I went ahead and got this. I really didn't have anything in mind. I mean, if all else fails, I'll use it for fishing. Because I have fishing gear like crazy. Well, not as bad as my craft supplies, but my husband's fishing gear looks like my craft supplies. So, but I do have my own fishing gear. So if I don't end up using it for crafts, then I certainly could use it for fishing. But I may try to see if I can fit some of my sewing stuff in here. I don't know. We'll see. I'm kind of getting back into the sewing gig here. So I say back in like I ever did it. I was never an avid sewer. So I finally found some stickers. I actually have, I got 3 of them. And I did already plunder through one of them to use in my journal. But this is Happy Planner. You can see they were on sale. They were clearance, but I got them for, I think, 99 cents. So I went ahead and got 3. They were all the same kind. I was hoping they were all different, but they weren't. So this is workout related. Sore is the new sexy. Strong is the new skinny. Me time, never quit. You can do it. Yesterday you said tomorrow. So, and don't give up, never quit. It definitely had some things that were not just for workouts too. But anyway, this is definitely, workout, cardio, workout related. But I think that I will use 99 cents worth, you know. So I thought, and I do need to, I have put on a lot of weight since I was like suddenly inactive. You know, when I got sick and paralyzed, you know, you go from fully functioning to not functioning at all. The only time you get up is if you have to go to the bathroom, you know. And so that drastic of a decrease in activity, I put on a lot of weight in a hurry. So I know that I'm going to really, now that I can move around better, that's a goal of mine that I'm going to really be paying attention to here soon. And this is quick stats, weight, waist, hips, you know, if you want to track your workouts and weight and all that good stuff. So I might do that. Time and distance. I need some motivator for me to, since I'm not in PT anymore. And I thought maybe this would help me. You know, it has weigh-ins and goals and things like that. So I went ahead and got 3 of them. And I don't know. Now those I probably would not put in my journal, my regular journal, because I am not airing my weight all over YouTube. It's just not going to happen. But anyhow, this was a cute little zipper bag. Do I need another zipper bag? No. But it's cute. It has the happy planner. It has the little, I don't use the happy planner. I have 1 or 2. Oh, that reminds me, I'll interrupt this thrift haul to show you something I got at Hobby Lobby. And I know there's going to be glare on it. I can't do a whole lot about it. I'm sorry. You have to have light. And anyway, this was $2.39. Hobby Lobby has all their stuff clearance. This is 22-23 planner. And I don't necessarily use these. This is not a happy planner though. What is this? They did have some happy planners clearanced. But I thought I'm going to use, I can go ahead and start because it still has from July to the end of the year. And so I might use it intact. And I can always use, well, these tab pieces. This is such pretty artwork. You know, this is all from the last half of 22, so I dang sure don't need that. But I could always, you know, tear them out and use some of these in my journal or whatever. I see other people do this, so, and I love these. And I might use these tabs. I don't know, we'll see. But for $2.39, I thought I would grab it. So anyway, that was a little derail. So I got that. Not sure exactly how I'm going to use that. I probably shouldn't have got it, but it was, again, it was 99 cents. And then I found these magazines. Now let's see. I found one of these. I love the Real Simple. And then this is a Food Network magazine. I figure I can find, well, food, right? I thought, you know, I can find some things that I can use in my journal. There's food. Probably could even find some glue book, you know, glue book images, but definitely journal images. Giant hamburger. These are old. I mean, they're like, oh, look at that one. I love the paint ads. That definitely would be a glue book thing. It's going to be big though. I don't know how exactly to use it yet, but I will figure that out. But anyway, I think this is from like 2015 if I remember correctly. 14, I'm sorry. 2014. And then this Real Simple I think is from, oh, it's from November of last year, so I probably have this one. You know, again, you've seen me flip Real Simple. And so going into fall, this will, you know, have some good fall and Thanksgiving images in it. So I got these for all of the magazines were 25 cents. I love that image. Cool. Okay, cool. For 25 cents, I'll flip through, and if I find even a couple things I'll use, I'll grab it. You know, because why not, right? I mean, look at the lime green background, if nothing else. So, and like I said, I should already have this one. But, so I'm going to put it up in my little, my magazine crates. I have a stack of crates to my left that are those wooden crates, and I have them on their side stacked like 3 or 4 high. And I put all my magazines in there, so that's been amazing. So I don't think, I can't remember if I meant to get all of these. I pulled out the stack, set them in my buggy because I was looking to see, there was a Somerset Studio in here. And yes, it was 25 cents. Now it's from 2014, but who cares, right? So I won't feel guilty about, this is when they were still, let's see, I'm trying to find the original price on it. I want to say $9.99. Does anybody else remember when these were still $9.99? They went up to $15, and then now I think they're up to almost $20. It's crazy. But I get it, everything is expensive. So I thought, oh, that was a score. You know, if you haven't ever seen these magazines, there's so much artwork in them. I mean, because that's what it is. It's people's artwork. They highlight different artists and their styles of art, a lot of mixed media. But just all the great backgrounds and images. And anyway, so I'm sure that I will flip through. Oh, there's papers that you can tear out. Oh, look, that was like patriotic. There's paper, you know, there's always paper that you can tear out and use for collage and backgrounds, things like that. And then there's just all this other artwork that's just amazing. So, yeah. So for 25 cents, yes, that was a score. So I had picked up, I used to make jewelry. I used to get into all the wire wrapping and all this, you know, I used to do that. I don't anymore. Not to say that I won't ever. I still have all my stuff. But, you know, when I lost the use of my hand, I lost the ability to do a lot of this stuff. And I don't know that I can do the journaling and things like that, okay, but that really takes some really fine motor skills. But I don't know if I meant to get these or not. But at 25 cents, I mean, there's still some really cool images in here. Like, look at this teacup with the earrings on it. Now, when I used to sell on Etsy and whatever, that's how I used to stage my photos. Was like hanging them from a teacup or some other item. But, you know, if I have a prompt that's earrings, or even just in collage, you know. So I don't know that I will, I don't know, I might actually let my mother-in-law read some of these or look through them. I don't know if she will or not. She used to do a lot of beaded jewelry, and she was really good at it. I mean, like back in the 80s and 90s. And anyway, I just love all these images. And some of these, like for glue book or whatever. And I love this ironstone. I collect that white, or I did collect that white ironstone. Anyway, I'm just going to thumb through it a little bit faster, or this video will be extremely long. So, I might give them to her if I see something in here I think she'll do. You know, they quote-unquote retired at the end of last year. Now, they're in their 80s. They should have retired 10 years ago, but they didn't. So, I think she's struggling with not having a hobby. You know, I'd like to see her have some kind of hobby. I've gotten her one of those diamond art kits, and, you know, she hasn't done anything with it yet. So, it might be I don't want to say it's never a waste of time to encourage somebody to do something, but I don't know that if she doesn't have the interest in doing it, then it's not going to, you know, it's not going to not encourage, what would be the word? She's not going, if she doesn't want to do it, she's not going to do it. How's that? That was not the words I was looking for, but look at this. Fairy Tale Princess. I used to do all the resin, all that mixed media, the jewelry, the steampunk stuff. Yeah, all of the resin, the bezels, and I taught myself how to do all of that, and then I just quit doing it. It's hard to keep momentum to sell handmade goods when, you know, you have Pinterest and people just take your ideas, and you work so hard on a unique, you know, your own creation, and then, you know, somebody comes in and, yeah, anyway. But not only that, but good grief, you can buy so much of this stuff in, you know, cheaper in all these different, you got Dollar Tree and Dollar General, and not to say that you can buy mixed media jewelry in there, but anyway. This one is more of a how-to, so I might, and yes, if you're wondering why I'm flipping from back to front, I don't know why I do it, I just do it. And I quit trying to convince my brain to do it otherwise. I loved wrapping rings. I still have some of my rings. Maybe I'll show you some of them one day. I didn't get real intricate with it, but anyhow. And then this is the last one. I am flipping it from front to back. I thought those were cute, the little felt earrings. And it's okay. I mean, I get inspiration from other people, but I'm talking, I had a real brick and mortar shop, and I would have somebody locally come in, and designs that I had done, not just with jewelry, but with like my t-shirts and dish towels and stuff like that. They would come in and buy one and then go duplicate it and sell it in another local shop. And I thought that was pretty cheesy. You know, I don't mind if you draw inspiration from something that I do. I think that's a compliment. But go make your own stuff, right? And they would try to get me to tell them how I did it, or like what technique I used. And I'm like, some things are just, I worked really hard to learn how to do some of that stuff. And so I held it kind of close to my heart. That's so cool. Man, that would make such a good glue book piece, or clip, fussy cut. Yeah, focal image. Anyway, so I'm not hating on people that, you know, you inspire. That's not what I'm talking about at all. Okay, does that look like an ear? Does anybody else see an ear in that? Just wondering. Anyway, okay, so I'm glad for a quarter piece I got them. I don't know if I intended on getting them, but I got them nonetheless. Now let me show you some of the books. Pardon while I grab my sacks here. These are those Enviro sacks. The thrift store that I like to go to, they don't use bags anymore, which, you know, a lot of stores are doing that, right? Which I think is great. These are crossbody, so I can carry them pretty well. I love old books, and I love all kinds of books. I do not, however, care to read. I mean, I can, and I'm, you know, there's nothing wrong with my reading ability, but it's not something that I enjoy doing. So this little bag of fabric scraps I thought was fun. That always reminds me of watermelon. Because, you know, I was almost about to run out of fabric scraps, if you catch my drift, right? But I can't pass them up. So, especially when they're already cut up, because I will hesitate cutting up a large piece of material just to have a little piece in my journal, or for a spine or something like that. So I don't like to cut up my big pieces for that. But I certainly will cut up little use little pieces. This is not an old book, and it caught my eye because I love the colors and I love the size. And, excuse me, I had hiccups. I've had those a lot lately. I do not know who Charlie is. Apparently she has a social media, whatever. She's obviously young and wouldn't be something that I would know. I have no reason to know who she is. But the images, some of the images in the book, you know, some of the clip art that you could get out of this book was pretty cool. So I went ahead and got it. Their books are like $1 for the most part. I don't know if they're all $1 or if the kids' books are $1 and the other ones are 50 cents, but I want to say they're all $1. And they're one of the few stores that still sells books here. One of the few thrift stores. So, and bonus, I mean, look at all of that. Is that not totally usable in the journals? And then, if that wasn't enough, there's a sticker page. So whoever got this book never used it, and it probably was an expensive book. But all of these are stickers. Now, I don't need a Charlie sticker, but, you know, the rest of them are absolutely adorable. So I thought that was cute. And it had some good quotes and stuff like that in it, too. But, and then I thought this would be a fun size if I wanted to, you know, after I use some of the images in it, if I wanted to make a journal out of this, this is definitely a size that I would use. And let's see, I thought I flipped these up right, but I didn't. This is a larger book, you know, not quite 12 by not quite 10. So, and it's just an atlas. It's exactly what it says. It's all matte pages, you know, so we all know what we use those for, right? So I do not usually pass up those. This one is an older book, Teacher's Edition. I love the feel of these old school books, Health for All. And I liked the journal. I liked the cover. So I plan on making a journal out of this, and I wouldn't have to cover the front. I like doing that with books. You might have seen me. Uh-oh, sorry for the avalanche. I love love making journals out of these old school books. This was my favorite. This was actually my first attempt at a junk journal. And I loved the colors in this. And I just added little swatches of fabric and rickrack, and has 3 signatures in it. I had a hard time using it because I liked some of the papers in it. That was when I learned I needed to use papers I didn't like. But this is where I keep like my birthday cards and stuff like, because I actually made this one on my birthday. I don't know how many years ago, but it was my birthday present to myself that I had spent a year trying to learn how to make different books and stuff. And so it was my present to myself to actually finish it. So this is actually the elementary school I went to. And I thought it looked familiar. But it's like an old kids reader. And I love using all these old images for my journal. But it also had enough pages in it, like these front pages that aren't colorful, but they're perfect to put back in the journal. And so like this, I wouldn't use these pages in the journal. I would use some of these for like journal clip art or collage or whatever. And anyway, so there's enough pages in here to do all of that. Now, some of these old school books are really, really, really bound really well. This one is not. Some of them have, if they have that thicker, I forget what this like gusset thing is called, but some of them have like a wider one of those, and there's those big industrial staples, and they're glued, and they're sewn, and they're everything. Like, they did not want those kids to tear them apart. But I looked, and you can tell if you open up the book like this. I hope I'm in frame. I can't tell if they're glued too, but I know I can take that book block out pretty quick. So I'm hoping to use this one soon to make a journal out of. I always love, I'm sure there's going to be a glare on this one. This is a big book too. It's real shiny. I don't know if I'll use this cover. These, sometimes I'll use to make the bigger ones. I'll use to make like an art journal. But one of these days I'm going to make a big junk journal too. But there's so many fun images. And all these old, this one's probably not that old. Oh, 69. Oh, published in 70. Okay, so it is pretty old. You can tell by the graphics, typically. This is kind of a mid-century type graphic. And I've been enjoying watching Doki Doki Forest. If you haven't watched her, she's been doing Thrifty Thursday. And you can tell this one's sewn in. But I've enjoyed watching some of her book hauls because she has the same passion for these older images and these older kids' books that I do. And so I've enjoyed watching her. And her art is absolutely amazing. She is, you know, amazing. But this is a great size. And the spine is already almost falling apart. And it checked off all the boxes. It has matte pages, the spine's almost out, and it's sewn in. And look, I don't have to redo the inside pages if I don't want to. They're just solid colors, and you know. So this was in my book, get it, my book. In my book, the perfect book to get. So, and then I always get these little worksheets because they're so great just to have collage papers or, you know, painting papers, different stuff. I mean, I don't care what they say necessarily because I plan on painting over them, or, you know, they're big enough to fold in half and use in my journal. And I probably will start using some more, like, a variety of pages. I might in my daily journals. These are shiny. They're going to be a glare, but if you don't know what Ideals is, I don't know what time frame it's from. Maybe they ran, I want to say 60s, 70s, 80s maybe. Let's see. Here we go, Roman numerals again. MCM is 1900, XC. C is 1,000? No, that's not right. X is 10, so 10 minus C. M is 1,000. Oh, heck, I don't remember. Anyway, so let's see, V11, that would be 6, 7, maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna have to freshen up on that. So, because I'm almost wondering if C wouldn't be 2,000, would it? I don't know. If you know, you can tell me in the comments. But it doesn't really matter. These are, the covers are real slick, but the pages are matte. At least in most of them that I've found. Some are older and some of them are new, you know, from a newer. When I say newer, I mean like 80s and 90s. But some of them I think go back to like the 60s and 70s. And they have everything from, I mean, this is Easter, so it's everything that's related to Easter. There's stories, there's images, there's poetry in some of them, a garden. Let's see, there's poem, spring parade, and a garden poem. And then this is country, and then they have friendship, and they have like all the seasons. And I found one. Mom, look at the borders on this. And so anyway, if you ever see these, at least look at them. They're worth a look. Not everything would be, you know, usable in the journal because they are fairly big. But you can always fold the papers, right? And then this is friendship. But look at all the fall foliage. That'll be fun to use coming up. I have a bunch of these, and I only had one of each. So if I only have one of something, I have a hard time cutting it up. So I went ahead and got these because I'm sure they're going to be duplicates. So I will have an easier time tearing them up. Does anybody else do that? Like if you only have one, you can't tear it up. So this one is just Emergency Center. Oh, I know who that is. That's a dentist. That's a local dentist. Okay, for kids. Okay, this is 82. These are slick pages. They're not the matte pages, but I don't care. I wanted them for the different seasons, the images. And the words are good too. I mean, they're a good size. if you needed. There's not that many words in here. But I thought this would be fun. It was kind of like a, maybe, maybe not. But for a quarter, sure, why not? I don't have anybody going back to school. But some of you might. Let's see, season for canning. This is, I think, what caught me. Because she's actually canning, you know, and preserving. So I know I do a lot of that. So I always need that in my journal. And then planting in the fall leaves. We don't get that many leaves here. I mean, we have pecan trees and oak trees, but we don't have those big, you know, leaves that you associate with fall. With those maple and, although we did plant a maple tree in our front yard. So one day we'll start getting some maple leaves. It's still small right now. So winter, look at the snowman. We don't get snow either. About once every 20 years maybe. But anyway, there's lots of fun images. Summer, you know, different stuff like that. But it was like a maybe, maybe not. But I went ahead and got it. This kangaroo in the attic. I don't know if I can get all of this. It's kind of sticky, but this is that library, you know, anyway. Now, this one I don't know. Shelby County. That sounds like Tennessee. I know Memphis is like Shelby County, I think. But this had some really fun pages in it. This is one of those that I was talking about. See how it has such a wide, is that called a gusset? Y'all correct me if I'm wrong on any of these terms. I don't. But when they have that wide thing like here on the spine, usually means that they're stapled and sewn. And they're very difficult to get apart. But this one is from, it looks older because of the kind of that block graphic, like in 1960. So you'll have like black and white pages, and then you'll have like a black and white page with like one color. If you've ever noticed, like books from the mid-century have that. Now this looks like it kind of has two colors. This is kind of a sepia color. Sepia, but then it's just blue. So then black and white, and then a color, and then black and white, and then a color. I don't know if any of you know why that is. I forgot. I probably knew at one point, but I forgot when I was studying those. This one right here, I'm pretty sure this was one of my readers when I was in elementary school. And I don't think this particular book was. It says Richard. October 78, Scambia. Yeah, this was apparently Richard's, but I'll have to go back and look to see if I had any classmates named Richard. Because I remember this book. I remembered the front of it. And I remember that image right there. And the gumball machines. And so this was from, what did I say, like 78? But I just thought that was 75, 66, copyright 75. I would have been not in school in 75, but 78 I was. But anyway, so I remember this book. So that was why I got it. I didn't really need anything in it. This particular thrift store, I found my old, and they were mine, my old French books. In high school, I found my two of my old French books that actually had my name in it, which was pretty cool. So anyway, that ends our fun little, what do you call this, thrift haul. And I did not need another book. I have gobs of books. I need to probably thin down my book, because when I first started buying books, I bought anything that I thought I could use, and then now that I've actually made journals and used the pages, I'm a little more particular with what I get. So I need to start shedding some of those first books that I'm not going to use. But anyway, I don't know if you like seeing this type of stuff. If you do, let me know. I always think it's fun to see what other people find in their thrift stores in their area. And this one was, you know, book and magazine heavy, but, you know, but that's okay. Sometimes it's other stuff. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I got that wasn't journal related. Yeah, I got a bathing suit. But I didn't show you that. What else? I don't know. But it was fun, and I will catch you in the next video, I guess. And I hope to catch you in the next video. And y'all have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.